For custom scripts, we need to have especially C# knowledge, and is also used for the creation of or update from WMS documents or for WMS data. Where can we find it? Basically, this is a script that we generate, so we can place it anywhere we want. And the only requisite that we have is that this script needs to be triggered from any other element. So we can trigger the script by a task scheduler, by the Produmex robot. We can trigger it from a button, from a V1 app button, for example, or even from a V1 app universal function. We'll see in a minute one example of usage of C scripts, which is related to the creation of move orders. But for example, we could use a CS script to close picklist proposals with a certain age, just to not keep some stock log by picklist proposals that are already not valid or not in use. So we could run a script, for example, with the task scheduler every night just to close them. We could also have a specific logic to change, I don't know, the pick list docs for certain pick lists. So we can do that, for example, with a scheduler, which every day is running and changing the destination doc for the pick list with the criteria specified on the script. Or for example, this is one example that we have already mentioned. Remove all the SSC numbers from allocation, as I mentioned. That could be useful when we are receiving finished goods from production in a certain location, and we don't want to store them in SSC numbers. We want to receive them in bulk. So let me check. Yeah, there's no other comment. So this is a very useful example. We will find it many times when we go to customers. We receive goods, and they have a sort of quality process in place where they check the goods, and based on the result of this quality check, we want to create move orders, either to move them to the warehouse or to move them to any rejected bin or any rejected warehouse. How can we do this? How can we generate these move orders based on the quality check result? For example, with a script. And which is more important for me is that you keep in mind this solution for any request that you may have from your customers, but it's also important for me that you know how, which is the structure to make these scripts work. In this case, we need 3 different files. This bat file is represented here is the one which is triggering the script. In this case, remember that we can trigger the script even by a task scheduler, but also in this case, I'm triggering it from the robot. We have here the example about how to do it. Once the script is running, we will select the data from a view. So the script is generating a specific actions, which is creating move orders. But which stock do we need to move? What is the data which is susceptible to be moved is selected on a view, right? Which is called from the script. And in this view is the business logic. In this case, if I remember well, we are just moving all the stock which is on these three locations, TAM 1, TAM 2, and TAM 3. So we'll generate move orders for all this stock, and that creation of the documents is made on the screen. Let me see if there are questions. It's really a bit messy how to read your comments here, but okay, I think that is nothing. Okay, so this is how script works. We trigger it, we execute the actions, and what is the data, which is the destination of these actions, is selected on a view. What's the advantage of this structure? That we can reuse these two first files in many cases, and probably only the logic of the customer is changing. So when only the logic of the customer is changing, then we just need to modify the data that we are taking, not all the rest of the structure. That's the benefit of doing it like this.